every time I do this, sometimes I wonder, is it the camera or is it the platform? Okay, so I had said I was going to start sharing some of my story. I have to do it in chunks because it's way too long and it's too intricate and too detailed to share it all at once. But the Lord's leading me to share my story, how this kind of came to be. Anyway, um, instead of doing that, I'm going to talk about. I'm going to fast forward to now and how my life is being monitored. Like I feel like there's nothing that I do is private, which is it's a terrible thing to think that someone could get used to the idea that you have no privacy. Like nothing that you do is in private. Like changing your clothes, where you go, who you text, who you call, who you hang with, nothing is private for me. And so I came to the conclusion right now, like today, that I don't have a need to convince anybody of what my situation is. My situation, my life is so surreal. What's happened to me has been so surreal that unless you know about the situation already, you're not going to believe me. So I'm not going to try to convince anybody of what I'm going through, and no one can convince me that what I'm going through is not true. That's straight what it is. So today I went out to do some well, I went out to an area because the house was being um what's it called? Fumigated. I didn't want to be here for that. Plus my night last night was so intense in regards to the witchcraft and the warfare. Um they use the times when I'm sleeping to project this sickness towards me. And what I should probably be doing is probably sitting up all night and praying and fasting and praying. That's what I should be doing because I know that's the time that they use to do this. Anyway, I woke up this morning feeling like I can't possibly stay here today while this is all going on. And so I did leave the house and I went to thrift. And not because I have to, but because it's something that I had said I was going to do just to check it out. Plus, being in this house seems to be like if let's just say no, I'm not even gonna say that. The point is that what's happening toward what's happening with me right now is not just like the people in my life that know me. There's people in my life, there's people around me that don't know me who are actively involved in what's going on. And the reason why they're involved is because there's power in numbers. That's one. Two, they are either into Obia or they're into Santeria or they're into something to do with the Sikh and Hindu religions. Now, I'm kind of I'm putting them all together because it doesn't matter what you do in regards to what you serve, what religion you're in, or whatever you practice. It's the same demons that you're using, and that's why they can collaborate and do the same thing. You can hear my voice is a little bit raspy, a little bit, because I've been praying and casting out demons the whole way back here from where I was, because I realized that, particularly in the Sikh and Hindu religions, they don't have to know you to know the assignment against your life. For whatever reason, like when I go somewhere, they seem to know. With in regards to the witches, witch people who are into witchcraft, they know there's an assignment against me. So like let's just say I'm going somewhere. They'll know that I'm taking the bus. They'll know what bus stop I'm taking. So they'll go there and act nonchalant, like they don't know, what I'm doing, and then they'll do their magic or whatever it is. In regards to people from the Sikh and Hindu religion, I could get into a situation they don't know me, but for whatever demons are associated with the practices that they practice, they identify me as being a target. This is what I've learned, and I know I'm not wrong. Because like there's people then I start to bind. Today I was praying in my mind, I was binding and casting out spirits. I was, commanding, taking the authority given to me by Yeshua Jesus Christ, and I was commanding that the spirits go back to hell or to the abyss where it belongs. And then you'll see people's face change. People will act differently once I start doing that. So I know, and I love all this is happening in quiet. I'm not saying a word out loud and they're not saying anything, but you can see things changing, and that's what got me here. Well, that's what got me here, without being outright sick, is because I knew to pray when I was out there. The plan was to have me go out there and make me think that I am, if the projections are consistent, like it's happening here, it happens on the bus, it happens where I go, it happens at the mall, then it would make you think that you're getting sick. But that's not what it is. Once you accept it, that's when you get sick. I don't know if that's difficult to understand. If it is, I'm so sorry, but I'm not the only one who's been going through this, because there's a group of chosen people who are going through this. Some are just coming to an understanding what's really going on around us, and some of us have a full understanding and are navigating through it. I'm going to tell you, most of what's happening with the chosen group of people is the women are far ahead of the men. They know exactly what's going on. They're not oblivious. They're not afraid to say what's going on, because they've been too enmeshed in what's going on, and they have too much of an understanding to have anyone convince them anything different. Now the men now are so far behind. This is how God designed it. I'm not too sure why, but they're just coming to an understanding of what's really going on, and they're just realizing the enemies around them and what they can do. And I think at this point, the men who are chosen are kind of in shock that the people that have been around them possibly all their lives have been enemies all along, which is unfortunate. So I just made myself some. I was out there. I said I refuse to buy anything on the road. I refuse. I refuse. If I can cook, I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna cook something. So I made myself um Korean boiled eggs. Korean boiled egg. It's like a, if you're Korean, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's got sesame oil, green onions or chives, honey, and soya sauce and water. And you soak the eggs in them. They're supposed to be soaked like at least a few hours or overnight. And it makes the whites of the eggs turn dark and very flavorful. But I'm too hungry to wait. And so I'm going to have them after I finish this live. And the reason why I'm having them now is because I didn't eat when I was out there. I refused to. And it is late. I should not be eating now, but I am so hungry. I'm so hungry. Anyway, for whatever reason, I don't think that the attacks against my physical well-being is going to stop. The Lord's going to have to do something drastic, and I'm sad about it. That's just too bad. There is a funeral happening on Friday, and I wasn't going to announce this, but I am not going to the funeral. I had said I wasn't going to go to funerals, and then when the person passed away, I was so heartbroken and sad, because I ultimately know what it means when someone passes away. If they're practicing magic and witchcraft, they're not. It's not a good thing that they're passing away. There's no celebration to be had if someone's practicing witchcraft and they pass away, unless they have a chance to repent. And this person had a chance to repent. Anyway, that being said, I'm not just going to a funeral just for show. I don't care who the funeral is for. I'm not going to a funeral. This person and I haven't talked in years, and I raised this person's daughter. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. She may not be so wise right now, because my daughters have made some choices based on emotion and not on common sense, because my daughters know me and they know better than to have made decisions that they made. And that's unfortunate. I sacrificed I didn't take trips. I know how to stretch a dollar. I know how to pay my bills. I carried a weight of raising four girls by myself. That's going to be part of the story I'm going to share. But anyway, my girls know me, especially the older two, and they made decisions based on, I don't know what would make them make such a decisions, but they're going to regret it, because I said some things and I know it sounded unbelievable, because I'm not, in their minds, I'm not a pastor. Like, who the heck am I? So people walk around very preachy, and particularly my mom's husband, professing to be such a Christian, and people look up to him and whatever else. So I don't know. It's so confusing, because these people practice magic and witchcraft, and they project sickness towards people, and hex people, and cause people's vehicles to get damaged, and cause people to get sick, and add bodily fluids to people's foods, all kinds of gross things. And at the same time, they get dressed and go to church. I'm every time I talk about it and every time I see it, I just shake my head. How can you say God and do those things? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. What how do you think that God would let you get away with that? And then when things happen to people, people get angry. Anyway, this is going to be a short life because this is not what I intended to talk about, but I'm just going to let you know that when I left here today, I was followed. And there's various ways that people can identify that you are a chosen person. They can either be in a religion that knows who enemies are, and the spirit in the spiritual realm they knows who's who, or you could be a part of a coven, or and that coven have know the assignment. That's that. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I am so pooped. It was, you don't even know the orchestrated mess that happened out there. It was like, it was insane. And my phone, whenever I leave the house, the battery I can just watch the battery drop. Like it's like again, I can feel the phone is hot. And if anyone knows anything about that, they'll know that when your phone is being monitored, it gets hot and the battery level will drop quickly. Anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. I pray that you have a great night. Remember, you are made marvelously. You're a special generation of people created for this time. You're not a mistake. Have a great night.